Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. Apologies for not posting for so long. A lot of things have been happening and so have things been happening in the world in terms of COVID. So today we're going to talk about the recent stats, advancements, things to do, and the short-term outlook, what to expect in the next 30 days. So let's begin with statistics. Statistics-wise, the world has reached over 10 million cases and over half a million of confirmed deaths. These are big and scary numbers, and big and scary are understatements to the potential effect of COVID if we look at it entirely in however so years when it's going to pass. Yeah, let's look at the current situation. What has happened is that countries such as Canada or the United States or some of the major European countries such as Germany, Italy, France, they have been hit hard. And obviously the virus originated from China. That was the beginning of the wave. And then it spread to all of the countries. Air travel was now restricted, borders were open, and hence this effect of the first wave was felt by the neighboring countries and later by different continents. Now, we have to remember that not all countries were affected by COVID at once. Countries such as India, Saudi Arabia, Brazil, the countries that are spiking right now and driving the numbers greater than ever, those countries were not affected at all or just slightly when the virus first began. So this is what's accounting for the steady growth of the cases. It's not that the entire world got sick at once and is having difficulty stopping the virus and it's not dying down. Is the fact that it is a chain reaction of countries getting their spikes one after the other after another. I believe there are over 190 countries in the world, including all of the African countries. So, we gotta consider that. So, while as of the moment, countries such as Germany, Italy, France, those same ones that had spikes before, are now going down and plateauing, others are rising up and taking the spotlight. So do not panic. Please do not uh, run around and say, oh, it's the end of the world. Uh, Healthcare is failing. Those prophecies were true. It's a tough time. And it is important to remember that we as a human species have already encountered pandemics in the past. So this is, yeah, one of the many challenges we are to face and to overcome. It's definitely a very unexpected and strong test of our healthcare systems. Yet the world is doing its best, and when the world is involved, everybody's working together. As long as that's going on, we're good. Now, as for what to do, one question I get a lot is, should I social distance? Is it really worth it? I mean, it's just me. Plus, I saw like five guys at the grocery store today who um, haven't practiced social distancing at all. Like, why am I doing this? Why do I have to, be the responsible person? I don't wanna. What I'm gonna tell you is better be the smart person and keep the distance. Even even when the government says that, yeah, you can gather now in groups of 20 or groups of 30, you gotta remember that there are many driving forces behind that. It's not that they're making these new regulations, new, more free regulations because it's safer. Not necessarily. Nothing's safe when you don't have a vaccine. They're doing that because we gotta remember the economy is suffering a lot. So the Canadian economy, the US economy, banks are on the verge of, really filing for bankruptcy. The government is providing all of the residents with different types of humanitarian and emergency aid. So it is a difficult financial situation. And the sad part of the sadness is that business and money will always be considered at the forefront of any problem, and hence, even when you might think, oh, now they're allowing groups of 50 to meet up, I should. No, 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 no. Think about yourself, um, and really, you be the one who decides when it's safe. You be the one. And a safe rule I would follow is give it some time. If they allow a group of 10 to meet up at a certain place, give it several months. Give it 1 month, 2 months, and you're just keeping the odds of the virus as low as possible. Keep the virus away from entering your life. It's the best vaccine so far. As for vaccines, that's the second question I get. When is the vaccine going to be created? Like, the entire world is working, day and night, these big companies. Reason the vaccine takes long is that anything that has to do with humans, any problem, has to go through a lot of testing. A lot of testing because of how our healthcare systems are constructed. Human ethics. Um, After all, everybody wants to be as safe as possible, not administer a drug that may later backfire and cause more harm than good. Everything has to be tested prior to becoming commercialized and sold or administered by the government. And that takes a lot of years. I never knew that myself, but on average, a vaccine may take from 5 to 10 years. Now, of course, this number is quite vague as it's not specific. Like, is that for a province, a country, maybe the entire world? I think that is more for a country. And we are lucky that the entire world is working on this problem. So, hopefully, 1 year to 2 years, that is the estimate. Somewhere there, that's the estimated amount of time for the vaccine. Well, obviously, the earlier the better for everyone, so let's keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully, something will be done. 3. In terms of uh, precautions, you might see all sorts of advertisements online saying, take vitamin C, take oregano oil, maybe, wear this new suit or disinfect yourself with this special hand sanitizer. Guys, you gotta understand this is a big market right now. It's a big growing market. Face masks, hand sanitizers. Every shop you go to right now, they're out. Why don't they have these things supplied, you might ask? Well, because the demand is higher. And when the demand is higher, suppliers are going to sell their limited amount of items to the companies, to the businesses that offer the most. So if your local drugstore doesn't have hand sanitizer, it's not because, they're idiots and don't realize that, hey, it's a beautiful time to produce hand sanitizers. Our sales are going to skyrocket. It's because they may not be the highest bidders for these healthcare products, and hence they're out of stock and can remain like that for quite a long period of time. So there's no vaccine. So please don't go all lengths of these crazy ideas you read about online with a hope of treating yourself instantaneously. It's not how life happens. Life, usually, all of the beneficial things in life take a long time to grow, to develop. So a vaccine is a more reliable route than just buying some over-the-counter new drug that is recommended by somebody, especially if the company itself is recommending its product. So just avoid it at all costs. There is no treatment as of the moment, yet since people are recovering, that's a very good sign. It's a sign that our bodies are learning how to cope with this virus. It already means that the human population will not die off. We will survive this. Just be cautious, be alert, and everything will be fine. Now, with these supportive words in mind, you gotta remember that, once again, this is a difficult and challenging time, but it's one of many, and together we can with the appropriate precautions, overcome this like any other problem. There's a lot of business. There are a lot of factors influencing everything: the vaccine, the research, um, and well, you know what I'm talking about. So, you got to keep that in mind. It's not all about human health and about, really being altruistic. There's a lot of economical and ethical and social dilemmas that are always present, as sad that may be. So we gotta wait and hope. These two words, wait and hope, are very powerful and are usually the solution to any problem we have. I will be updating you with the latest COVID news every single week, perhaps several days each week, and I will be looking forward to sharing more specific news and regulations that have been set in place. Speaking of which, last thing I want to point out is that masks are becoming mandatory in Canada starting Tuesday. So all public places will require you to wear a mask. So make sure you are stocked up. You can visit one of the Costco's, they give them out for free. No, they say temporarily, but you know, just use them while you can. So with that, I wish you all the best. Feel free to comment if you have any questions, if you want to see something special on this channel. I will gladly do that. Thank you guys, and wishing you all a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Ciao, ciao.